You ever notice how a man never understands the weight of a loyal woman until he's standing in the silence she left behind? It's crazy how a woman can give her whole heart, her loyalty, her patience, her faith, and the man she loves doesn't realize he's holding his own destiny in his hands. This ain't just a story about love. This is a warning, a wake-up call, a reminder that when you break a loyal woman, you're not just breaking her. You're breaking the future she was trying to build with you. And by the time you understand that truth, she's already gone. A loyal woman is never just a partner in your life. She's a foundation you build upon without even realizing it. She's the kind of presence that feels so natural, so constant, so rooted in your everyday rhythm that you start believing she'll always be there, no matter how hard the world hits or how far you drift. But that's exactly where the mistake begins, because loyalty is not loud. Loyalty doesn't brag, doesn't demand attention, doesn't flash itself like a trophy. It moves in silence, shows up in the small moments, and grows in the spaces most men overlook. And when a man doesn't see the weight of that loyalty, he starts taking it for granted. He starts thinking that her patience means she'll never get tired, that her forgiveness means she'll never walk away, that her softness means she'll never reach a breaking point. But what he doesn't realize is that a loyal woman isn't blind. She sees everything, she feels everything, she knows when a man is drifting, even before he does, and she knows when something in the relationship is cracking, even before the first fracture appears. A loyal woman invests her heart like time. She doesn't just love you, she builds with you. She pays attention to your fears, to your silence, to your dreams, to the pain you don't talk about. She becomes a shelter when life hits you hard. She becomes your stability when the world feels chaotic. She becomes the kind of home you can't buy, only earn. And the truth is, most men don't recognize the value of that until they've already damaged it. Because loyalty feels comfortable, and comfort makes people careless. A man starts thinking he can raise his voice today, and she'll still love him tomorrow. He thinks he can disappoint her one more time, and she'll keep holding on. He thinks he can keep choosing everything else above her, and she'll still stay. But loyalty doesn't mean she doesn't hurt. Loyalty doesn't mean she doesn't break. Loyalty doesn't mean she doesn't reach her limit. The mistake men make is believing that loyalty is infinite. But a loyal woman only stays loyal when she feels safe, respected, and valued. Once she feels like her loyalty is being used, not appreciated, something inside her begins to shut down. And that's where everything shifts, because when a loyal woman shuts down, she doesn't explode. She doesn't start fights. She doesn't throw your mistakes in your face. She slowly disconnects. She starts observing instead of explaining. She starts falling silent instead of arguing. She starts moving inward instead of reaching outward. That silence is the sign men ignore until it's too late. By the time she stops caring about proving her love, she has already accepted the truth you've been running from. A loyal woman is a blessing, but she's also a mirror. She reflects back the kind of man you are. When you treat her with respect, she multiplies your peace. When you treat her with love, she multiplies your strength. When you treat her with consistency, she multiplies your faith in yourself. But when you treat her with neglect, she reflects the emptiness you're carrying. When you hurt her, you hurt the part of your life that was holding you together. When you break her trust, you break the bridge to your own growth. She is not just connected to your heart, she's connected to your destiny. A loyal woman is often the force lifting you in ways you don't see, shielding you from storms you don't know are coming, supporting dreams you haven't even realized yet. And when a man mishandles that, he loses more than a relationship. He loses alignment, direction, stability, and the emotional grounding that keeps him centered. Most men only understand her value in her absence. When she's no longer checking in, no longer praying for him, no longer encouraging him, no longer believing in the best version of him, he feels that void in places he never expected. He realizes that her loyalty wasn't just love, it was structure. It was protection, it was elevation. A loyal woman changes the energy of a man's life, and when he loses that energy, everything else feels off balance. And that's why breaking a loyal woman is never just breaking her heart. It's breaking your own destiny piece by piece, without realizing she was the part of your life that kept everything together. A loyal woman doesn't just stand beside a man, she becomes part of the engine that pushes his life forward. Most men don't realize how deeply her presence blends into their growth, their ambition, their focus, their peace. She's not just loving him, she's investing in his evolution. She's pouring into him, feeding his confidence, grounding his thoughts, lifting his spirit, and calming the storms he doesn't even talk about. When a man is connected to a woman who truly rides for him, his entire life feels more aligned. His vision becomes clearer, his steps feel guided. He's more centered, more disciplined, more focused on the future. She becomes the quiet strength behind his loud victories. She becomes the whisper in his mind that says, keep going even when he doubts himself. She becomes the fuel he doesn't see, but he always benefits from. When a loyal woman supports a man, she supports more than his name. She supports his potential. She supports his flaws while still pushing him to rise above them. She supports his dreams even when those dreams are bigger than his current reality. She carries a weight for him that he rarely notices. She gives patience when he's confused, love when he's cold, forgiveness when he's careless, and motivation when he's tired. She becomes the emotional backbone that keeps him steady, and when a man breaks that kind of woman, he's not just breaking a heart, he's breaking the structure that was holding him up in ways he never acknowledged. There's a cycle that happens when a man has the right woman beside him. Her loyalty creates stability, her stability creates growth, and his growth creates opportunities. That cycle becomes a form of elevations, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes even financially. A man who has a loyal partner often finds himself rising in life because her presence makes him think bigger, move smarter, and stay grounded. She reminds him of who he can become, not just who he is. She believes in the version of him he hasn't fully stepped into yet. Her loyalty isn't passive, it's transformative. It shapes him from the inside out. It makes him want to do better, be better, achieve more, and avoid things that could jeopardize what they're building. But when he mishandles that loyalty, when he lies, cheats, disrespects, or takes her for granted, he doesn't just hurt her, he interrupts the cycle that fuels his own rise. He breaks the emotional foundation that was pushing him forward. A loyal woman gives energy, and once that energy is damaged, a man feels the shift in ways he can't avoid. His focus weakens, his discipline slips, his confidence shakes, his peace disappears, his path becomes heavier because she was part of the balance that kept him moving smoothly. It's not that he can't succeed without her, it's that he loses a form of support that was rare and powerful. A loyal woman doesn't just motivate with words, she motivates with energy, presence, and consistency. She gives him a sense of meaning that strengthens his purpose. When he breaks her, that purpose becomes cloudy. Her absence becomes a silence that echoes in every corner of his life. He notices it when he wakes up. He notices it when he tries to plan something. He notices it when life hits hard and she's not there to steady him. He notices it when the world feels loud and he no longer has her quiet strength to calm him. She wasn't just part of his life, she was part of his growth. Without her, the elevation he once felt turns into a slow decline, not because she made him great, but because she nurtured the greatness that was already inside him. Breaking a loyal woman means breaking the emotional alignment that helps a man reach his next level. She was the partner who held him accountable, the supporter who reminded him of his potential, the healer who helped him release his pain, the believer who encouraged his dreams, the protector who covered his weaknesses without exposing them. When she's gone, those parts of him feel exposed and unprotected. He becomes less grounded, less focused, more impulsive, more distracted. The rise he was experiencing slows down because loyalty isn't just love, it's structure. It's guidance. It's a force that shapes destiny quietly. And when a man breaks that, he breaks the very cycle that was elevating him, leaving himself to face the consequences of losing the person who was building his future with him long before he saw it. Loyalty in today's world is one of the rarest currencies you can ever receive from someone, and when it comes from a woman, it carries a depth that's almost spiritual. A loyal woman doesn't just stay, she commits with her whole heart. She shows up in moments when most people would walk away. She stands firm when the relationship hits storms. She chooses her man even when life gives her 100 reasons to doubt. That type of loyalty isn't common, and it's not something a man can replace by finding someone new. It's a unique kind of devotion that's shaped by patience, sacrifice, forgiveness, and a level of emotional consistency that can't be faked. Her loyalty becomes a part of the relationship's identity, the glue that keeps everything from falling apart when pressure hits. A loyal woman gives more than time, she gives trust. She opens doors within herself that she doesn't open for just anyone. She lets a man see the softest, most vulnerable parts of her soul. She chooses honesty even when dishonesty would be easier, because her love is built on truth. She aligns her steps with his vision, even if that vision is still growing. She becomes a partner in his dreams, a protector of his weaknesses, a believer in his potential. Loyalty is a deliberate act for her. It's not just staying, it's choosing him over doubt, over fear, over better opportunities, over the world's noise. It's choosing him because her heart sees something real in him, something worth building with. The rarity of loyalty means it can't be measured by how long someone stays, but by how deeply they commit. A woman who stays through challenges isn't weak, she's invested. She's trying to build something meaningful. She absorbs pain she shouldn't have to. She forgives actions she shouldn't have seen. She holds together pieces of the relationship that a man doesn't even realize he's breaking. She becomes the strength they depend on without ever receiving the credit for it. That kind of loyalty isn't replaceable. You can find beauty anywhere. You can find attention everywhere. You can find temporary excitement in a dozen different faces. But loyalty, that comes once, maybe twice. Some men never experience it at all. Most men misunderstand the value of loyalty because they confuse availability with commitment. They think having options means they're winning, but options without loyalty is just noise. A loyal woman is peace. She brings emotional clarity. She brings stability. She's the one who listens without judgment, supports without hesitation, and gives without expecting anything more than love and respect in return. She's the one who protects a man's heart while he's still learning how to protect hers. That kind of woman changes the quality of a man's life. She becomes his peace when life is heavy, his motivation when he's tired, his reflection when he's lost. And yet, because her loyalty is so consistent, some men start believing it will always be there. The tragedy is that loyalty can make a man careless. When a woman keeps giving love without conditions, a man may start believing she will always forgive, always stay, always wait. He begins to test boundaries, dismiss her feelings, overlook her sacrifices. He sees her loyalty as a guarantee instead of a gift, and that's where everything starts to break, because loyalty doesn't mean endless patience. It doesn't mean she won't feel hurt. It doesn't mean she won't wake up one day realizing she's giving too much to someone who gives too little in return. Her loyalty is strong, but she's still human. She still bleeds, she still breaks, she still reaches a point where she can no longer carry the weight of someone who keeps adding to it. A loyal woman is irreplaceable because she builds a version of love that grows a man. She adds meaning to his days, structure to his life, intention to his choices. She's not just present, she's devoted. She's not just caring, she's consistent. She's not just loving, she's loyal in ways that shape his future. When a man loses that type of woman, he learns quickly that loyalty cannot be bought, borrowed, or repeated. It's a rare currency that once spent carelessly never comes back in the same form. And the reality is, a loyal woman's love doesn't fade, it transforms. When she finally walks away, she takes with her the stability, peace, and emotional investment she gave so freely. What she leaves behind is a void, a silence, a realization that loyalty wasn't just an emotion. It was a blessing he wasn't wise enough to protect. A man's destiny is never shaped by his achievements alone. It's shaped by the way he treats the people who carry him through the quiet chapters of his life, and among all those people, the one who loves him with loyalty, intention, and sincerity becomes one of the biggest influences on the direction his life moves in. A loyal woman doesn't just share moments with him, she shares energy, purpose, protection, and emotional strength. How he treats her becomes a reflection of how he respects the blessings placed in his path. When he treats her well, his life feels aligned. When he breaks her, something inside his journey breaks with her. Because destiny isn't just about dreams and goals, it's about relationships, choices, respect, and the energy you carry into the world. A man is judged by how he handles the heart that trusts him. When he honors that loyalty, he opens doors for himself. He becomes more grounded, more focused, more centered. A loyal woman amplifies a man's sense of direction because her love brings clarity. She keeps him emotionally balanced, spiritually aware, and mentally stronger. She gives him a reason to move with purpose. Her support becomes part of his momentum. Her belief becomes part of his courage. Her faith becomes part of his resilience. When she sees something in him, he starts seeing it in himself. That energy pushes him toward better decisions, better actions, and a better version of his future. But when he disrespects that loyalty, his path becomes clouded. He starts moving with guilt instead of clarity. He makes decisions from impulse instead of wisdom. He carries regret instead of peace. Breaking a loyal woman is breaking the emotional compass that was guiding him even when he didn't realize it. She was the one who helped him stay calm when life was chaotic. She was the one who held him together when his confidence cracked. She was the one who reminded him he had potential when the world called him average. When he hurts her, he removes a source of stability that was shaping his destiny from the background. He doesn't just lose her, he loses a part of himself that only she brought out of him. Destiny is built on alignment, not luck, and a loyal woman brings alignment into a man's life in ways he can't measure. She influences his mindset, his discipline, his emotional health, his ambition, and even his spiritual growth. Without that grounding, he becomes more distracted, more restless, more unstable. The wrong choices begin to look attractive. The right opportunities start slipping away. His relationships with others become heavier because he's carrying unresolved guilt. His confidence weakens because he broke something he knew he didn't deserve to lose. His path becomes harder because the person who softened his journey is no longer beside him. A man may convince himself he's fine, but deep down he knows something is missing that he can't replace with attention, new faces, or temporary excitement. When a man breaks the heart of a woman who truly loved him, he breaks the blessing that was tied to that love. Every good woman brings something unique to a man's destiny. It might be emotional strength, wisdom, intuition, or simply the kind of love that makes him feel unstoppable. When he throws that away, he throws away the version of himself he was becoming with her. He loses the softness she brought to his hard days. He loses the hope she brought to his struggles. He loses the patience she gave him when he was growing. A loyal woman's presence shapes him into a better man. and her absence reveals the parts of him he still hasn't learned to manage alone. Life has a way of mirroring our actions. When a man honors love, life honors him. When he abuses loyalty, life reflects that back with lessons that hit hard. The world becomes colder. Opportunities feel harder to reach. Peace becomes something he has to chase instead of something he naturally feels. The loss teaches him too late that destiny is not only built by hard work or ambition, it's built by protecting the hearts that walk the journey with you. And when a man breaks a loyal woman, he doesn't just lose love, he damages the future that her presence was quietly helping him build all along. A loyal woman never leaves in anger, she leaves in silence. And that silence is louder than every argument, every warning, every tear she ever held back. When a woman who has loved deeply, given consistently, supported endlessly, and forgiven repeatedly finally grows quiet, it means she has reached a point beyond frustration. Silence is not her weakness, it's her awakening. It's the moment she realizes that fighting for the relationship alone is no longer love, it's self-destruction. She stops explaining because she knows explanations no longer matter. She stops repeating her pain because she knows he's not listening. She stops asking for effort because she knows effort should come naturally. Her silence isn't the absence of love, it's the presence of truth. A loyal woman's silence is the result of countless attempts to fix what the man refused to acknowledge. She didn't go quiet overnight. She went quiet after crying more than she ever admitted. She went quiet after forgiving things that broke her. She went quiet after hoping things would change. She went quiet because she realized her heart was carrying a weight it was never meant to bear alone. When she becomes silent, it means her spirit is tired. Her love is bruised. Her patience is overworked. Silence is her soul telling her it's time to step back and protect what's left of her, and that silence becomes the loudest sound in a man's life. He may not notice it immediately, but eventually he feels the shift in ways he can't ignore. He notices that she no longer asks where he's been. She no longer cares about the excuses he once used. She no longer reacts to the things that used to hurt her. She no longer tries to explain what she needs. She no longer cries over the things he does. She no longer argues because she no longer has hope left to lose. That silence is the emotional distance that marks the end long before she physically walks away. It's the moment she detaches piece by piece until there's nothing left connecting her heart to his actions. A man often confuses her quietness with peace, but it's not peace, it's departure. Not a loud exit, but a spiritual one. She leaves long before her body leaves the room. She stops imagining a future with him. She stops dreaming with him. She stops feeling excited by the things that once made her glow. Her silence is the proof that she's already grieving the relationship while still standing in it. By the time she finally walks away, she isn't emotional. She isn't angry. She isn't dramatic. She's empty, empty of pain, empty of hope, empty of attachment. A woman never leaves when she's hurt. She leaves when she's numb. A loyal woman's absence becomes a man's biggest regret, because while she was silent, he thought she was fine. He thought the lack of arguments meant the relationship was improving. He thought her quietness meant she was adjusting to his behavior. He thought her patience would never run out, but silence is the calm that comes right before the end, and when she finally leaves, it feels sudden to him, even though it was a long time coming. He starts to feel the emptiness she left behind. The messages she no longer sends, the attention she no longer gives, the love she no longer expresses. He feels the weight of her absence in the smallest corners of his life, in moments where he used to rely on her, in days when he expected her support, in nights when he thought she would still be there. Her silence becomes a memory he can't escape. What he realizes too late is that her absence speaks louder than her voice ever did. Because while she was arguing, she was still trying. While she was crying, she was still holding on. While she was explaining, she still believed. But when she became silent, she stopped fighting for both of them. Silence means she finally chose herself. And when a man pushes a loyal woman to that point, he doesn't just lose her. He loses the emotional stability, the love, the comfort, and the spiritual balance she brought into his life. Her silence becomes the echo in his destiny, reminding him of what he destroyed by refusing to listen. Growth begins the moment a man realizes loyalty is not just love, it is responsibility, discipline, and emotional maturity. A loyal woman gives a man a version of love that demands he rise above his habits, his ego, and his insecurities. Her loyalty challenges him without speaking. It pushes him to look at who he is and who he needs to become. But the tragedy is that some men only understand the weight of her loyalty once they've already damaged it. They learn the value of her patience only after they've exhausted it. They grasp the meaning of her forgiveness only after they've taken advantage of it. A man who breaks a loyal woman learns too late that her heart was one of the greatest opportunities for his own growth. A loyal woman doesn't just love a man, she helps shape the man he becomes. She motivates him in silence, pushes him emotionally, and stands beside him through seasons when he can barely stand on his own. She listens when he feels unheard. She believes in him when he doubts himself. She sees potential in him even when he's blinded by his flaws. Her presence teaches him how to soften without feeling weak, how to communicate without feeling exposed, and how to trust without feeling threatened. Her loyalty is a mirror reflecting back what he could become if he chose to grow instead of running from the work required. She helps him release emotional weight he didn't know he was carrying, and her consistency shows him the beauty of stability he never experienced before. But loyalty can't replace self-awareness. When a man refuses to grow, he begins to misuse the gift of her devotion. He becomes comfortable with the love she gives and careless with the way he treats it. He convinces himself that she will always stay because she always has. He lets old habits guide him. He lets his ego make decisions. He lets the world distract him. He takes her loyalty as proof that he can do as he pleases without consequence. But that illusion shatters when she starts distancing herself. Her energy changes, her patience thins, her tone softens in a way that signals detachment, not affection. Growth slips further away because he keeps believing loyalty will carry a weight he refuses to carry with her. A man who grows understands that loyalty from the right woman is a spiritual blessing. He realizes she is not perfect, but she is intentional. He sees that her loyalty is not naive. It is a conscious decision she makes every day. She is loyal because she believes in the relationship, not because she lacks options. She stays because she sees a future, not because she fears being alone. She chooses him because she sees value, not because she feels trapped. Recognizing this forces a man to elevate his character. He becomes more honest, more consistent, more emotionally present. He becomes a protector instead of a destroyer. He becomes someone who values peace over pride and growth over comfort. Without this understanding, a man slowly destroys the very love that was building him. He breaks the trust that grounded him. He pushes away the woman who prayed for him, supported him, and held his heart with care. And when she finally leaves, he is forced to grow in the absence of the person who was guiding his growth with love. It's a painful transformation, because growth without her feels like regret, emptiness, and self-reflection. He begins to realize the truth. She wasn't demanding more from him. She was trying to unlock the better version of him. She wasn't trying to control him. She was trying to align him with his own destiny. She wasn't being dramatic. She was being patient until patience became a battlefield she could no longer survive. When he learns too late, the lesson becomes heavy. He understands that loyalty was not weakness, it was strength. Not limitation, it was support. Not obligation, it was devotion. Losing that loyalty becomes the turning point in his life. It forces him to confront the parts of himself he ignored. It teaches him that love without growth becomes pain, and loyalty without appreciation eventually leaves. And the final truth settles in his heart. Breaking a loyal woman was never just breaking her. It was breaking his own path, his own progress, his own future. Growth begins when he understands the cost of taking loyalty for granted, but by the time he learns the lesson, the woman who once guided him has already walked away. When you look at the journey of a man and a loyal woman, one truth becomes crystal clear. Loyalty is not accidental, it's intentional. It's a gift, a foundation, a blessing that can shift the direction of your entire life. A man who recognizes that blessing early becomes stronger, wiser, and more aligned with his destiny. But a man who mishandles that loyalty learns the lesson the hard way, because breaking a loyal woman is breaking a part of your own future. It's losing a force that was building you when you didn't even know you were being built. It's losing the peace that carried you, the belief that lifted you, the love that shaped you. A loyal woman doesn't walk into a man's life to limit him, she walks in to elevate him. She doesn't love him to weaken him, she loves him to strengthen his vision, his discipline, his purpose. And when he fails to protect that love, he ends up standing in the shadow of everything he could have been with her. Because the truth is, you don't just lose her, you lose the version of yourself she helped you meet. Her absence becomes the echo of everything you took for granted. So the message is simple. Cherish loyalty while it's still beside you. Honor it while it still reaches for you. Protect it while it still believes in you. Because once a loyal woman walks away, she doesn't turn back. She doesn't reconsider. She doesn't break her silence. She chooses herself, and in choosing herself, she teaches you the lesson you ignored. Loyalty is a blessing only wise men keep. Thank you for listening to this message. May your journey be guided with clarity, wisdom, and respect for the people who truly stand by you. Wherever you're heading next, I wish you growth, peace, and the courage to protect the love that protects you. Good luck, and thank you.